Welcome back, all our 40k fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we are back to bring you another Warhammer 40k battle report. Today, it's going to get bloody. We're going to be getting into combat as the Blood Angels are bringing it to the World Eaters. Lane, but you're not going traditional Blood Angels here. You're kind of wonky.
Listen, it's not quite a meme, but it is kind of a meme. Here's what I figured out, guys. I figured this out. I can take 6 captains. Captains are great in Blood Angels, especially when they go those 3 extra attacks. Well, I can take 3 regular Space Marine captains, and then there are Blood Angel specific captains, which are exactly the same as Space Marine captains, except a couple different weapon differences, but they get the same rule where they get the +3 attacks once per game. So I'm just going to go with it. We're going to do that. I got 6 captains on my list today. Last week, I ran a Land Raider of Doom. This week, it is 2 Land Raiders of Doom.
Double Doom.
If I'm going to do something, I'm going to overdo it. So I'm packing so much into 2 Land Raiders that it's just going to be a lot to deal with. I'm also trying something with Outriders today, too. So we'll see how the Outriders perform.
Well, I'm a big fan of when you do something. If you're going to try something, you got to try it big because you want to make sure that in turns 1, turn 4, turn 5, it's on the table. So if you do something and it doesn't work, you can still test it another way. So even if you lose the game, at least you gain the knowledge from it of, okay, I like it. This didn't work, but it works another way. I myself will not be running any 6 captains. I won't be running any captains because I don't get captains.
You got like 6 Angrons here? What do you got?
No, I have a total of 0 Angrons. Oh. That's right. We are playing World Eaters without Angron. And that's one of the things that actually we noticed from our Halloween special was that it seems like the internet doesn't really like Mortarion and Angron very much.
Didn't get a whole lot of views, those guys.
No, and I can understand why, especially with Angron, because Angron does feel, and one of the comments we were talking about it with a couple different players, and it seems like some competitive World Eater players, they're kind of under the consensus that it almost feels like they don't win, Angron wins.
You're not really playing World Eaters, you're playing Angron.
Yes, and your win or loss comes down to, does Angron come back? Because of how hard he hits, he is a primarch. So, so many times where it's like, okay, this 400-point unit just got annihilated and doesn't come back. Well, now I lose the game because I've seen my army function, but then it's like on that teetering point because of Angron. And then last game we seen it where Angron came back and literally won the game for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was cool in an epic stance where it's like Angron, my wrestling notions of it, Angron gets hit with a chair, rolled out of the ring, everyone forgets about him, oh no, and then he comes back from the dead, goes back in the ring, hits the ropes, bounces in, clotheslines Mortarion, stands at the middle, holding the title up, victorious, and winning the game. That's not always fun, though. I mean, it's cool, it feels good when you're on the winning side of it,
sure,
but as I think everyone else would like to see, as we would like to play, I'd much rather have an army that it won because of the tactics and the style of play functioned, as opposed to I rolled 8 dice and 4 of them were 6s, which is what happened. Literally, we saw it on camera. So today I will be running without Angron, and the only thing really it hurts is that I don't have some of the rerolls that he gives, which is kind of a hurt. But I do have some other things and some other cool characters that we're going to take a look at. But before we get into that, Lane, let's see this double dooming Land Raider list.
All right, today we are running Blood Angels in the Liberator Assault group, and we have exactly 2,000 points. I'm just going to go through this list real quickly here, guys, but if you want more details on the units and how we're planning to use them, please check out our individual army videos. I'm trying some different stuff today, so there's a lot of talk in my Blood Angels video about what we're trying to do with these units. But to start with, we have 3 Blood Angels captains. They are all equipped with Power Fists and Inferno pistols, and then we have 3 regular Space Marine captains. They are 2 of them have the relic swords and the shields because they're going to be leading Blade Guard. They have to have that loadout. Now, one of the captains with Power Fist does have the Rage Fueled Warrior enhancement. We have one other character here. We do have a chaplain on bike, and he has the enhancement speed of the Primarch. We have 4 battle line units, 4 squads of assault intercessors, and then we have 3 of jump intercessors, 3 5-mans of jump intercessors, 2 3-mans of Blade Guard, and then 2 Land Raider Crusaders. We're going to pack just about everything we can into these guys, and then 1 6-man Outrider squad with an attached ATV. DJ, what are you bringing today?
So what you're looking at is a World Eaters list without Angron. We do got some demons, and the Demon Prince today will have the wings. So first and foremost, let's just go over the units that have enhancements, talk about those real fast, and then I'll talk about what everything else is in the army real quick. So first and foremost, the Demon Prince with wings is going to have the Berserker Glaive. This is an item I probably want to put on my Master of Executions, but for today, I want the Demon. I'm testing the Demon Prince. I want to see how he does in the field. Not 100% confident behind him. More on that later. Since I'm testing him, we're going big. So he's going to get the Berserker Glaive for +1 attack and +1 damage to put him up to damage 4. Our other Demon Prince on foot, has the damage reduction enhancement. And then the Master of Executions is actually going to have the free heroic intervention enhancement today. He is going to be leading one of my 5-man squads of Berserkers, which we have 3 of those with all the fixins. We do have Lord Invocatus, who is going to give us extra scout moves. He's going to be hanging out solo today. We have the 6 regular 8-bound that also have a scout move. We have the 3 exalted 8-bound led by a Juggernaut of Khorne. We have the 10 Berserkers in a Rhino with Karn leading the squad. And last is going to be my 20-man brick of Jackals, which I don't think I'm going to be as aggressive with those today. I think I'm just going to let those hold home field and be obnoxious, because that's a lot to have to chew through. And if you try and just bring a 5-man intercessor squad, gosh, I seriously want Games Workshop to name these Space Marine things with something other than the letter I.
You don't want to say Assault Intercessors or Jump Packs all the time?
No. And just different letters here. We have intercessors, incursors, infiltrators. I'm done.
There's like 30 or 40 letters in the English language. I'm sure you could use like a different one besides I.
26. But needless.
I'm not here for the math, guys.
We're not here for numbers. Numbers don't mean anything. But yeah, oh my gosh, it gets there. But yeah, I think that they're really just going to be solid. They're cheap still for the 20 brick. And it's going to be really hard for most anything to chew through unless you're completely pushing through my entire army, in which case, yeah, they're just going to get ripped off the field. But 5-mans that jump in there, they kill a couple of them, and then they get overwhelmed and swarmed, because those guys still do. They have sustained. They're going to have all the perks from my detachment for the feel no pain and stuff like that. And the Demon Prince could be giving them an involve as well, too. So Demon Prince is a critical part of my army. I think that with this style of build, I probably would want a second one. I want to try out the winged one, though. He has some interesting characteristics about him, so I want to at least give him a try. That's why I gave him the Berserker Glaive today, and let the Master of Execution kind of play goalie, so he can just heroic intervention in there for free whenever I need to, which actually doesn't matter in this mission today, but more on that later. We randomly drew the cards. Oops, we're sorry, my bad. We'll see why in a minute. But let's get over to that. Lane, out or even?
Even.
It is an even. Big old 6 right there. See, World Eaters starting off early. Do you want to deploy first or second, sir? I have no infiltrators, only scout.
Okay. I will have you drop first then.
All right, so we'll be back after deployment. All right, we are deployed. Lane, talk to us about what we are doing here today.
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Today's deployment is Tipping Point. It's stepped hammer and anvil, kind of. And our mission special rule today is prepared positions. So battle line units can go to ground or heroic intervene. Use those strats for 0 CP. Can't do it if the strat's already been used, so you only get 1 use out of it. But we both have some battle line units.
Yeah, except I have that enhancement on my Master of Executions, which is now dead points. But that's going to happen. That's going to happen sometimes. I mean, it's very rare. We did draw the cards for this one, but that go to ground is going to be big because I use that a lot with this army.
I have 4 squads of Assault Intercessors on foot, so I have some battle line today. And then our mission today is Linchpin. This is one where you get extra points for controlling your home field objective. So it's 3 points for each objective you control, and you get an extra 2 for each one in no man's land, as long as you hold your home field objective. So each one in no man's land is then worth 5 if you're controlling your deployment zone objective.
Now, this mission was also recently FAQ'd in errata, so there is a 15-point cap on this mission. So you cannot just go insane and crazy, as Lane has mentioned he has.
Now, I have exploited the no cap thing before, so now that there's a cap, I am sad.
So to the deployment. So for me, I did decide to put a 5-man of the Berserkers in strategic, just because I wasn't 100% sure where to put them. I was still kind of learning how to deploy this army, so I may not have done it right, but we'll go from there. We have basically everything ready to roll. So Invicata's in the Exalted 8-bound over there, as well as the Executioner and his squad are within 6. So they're going to get my scout move. So those 3 units all are going to scout move because Invicata's scout moves himself. 2 banners on my home objective, and we have these guys back here to hold the home field. They'll start spreading out as the game goes. And we have the Rhino with the Khorne Berserkers in that, ready to move up and get ready to unleash Karn and his Berserkers on whatever they can. We got the Demon Prince hanging out in the middle to be able to give his invuln aura off. And then Big Boy with Big Wings also hanging out in the middle to try and get there and get a whooping and a walloping. And he's got a sworn foe we'll talk about in a second. These guys, if we don't go first, are not going to move. However, if we go first, I will probably scout move them to get them in a better position because then I can move them again. So that's going to be, that unit depends on if I go first or not. And then we left a 5-man Berserker over here for secondaries and other stuff that I may need to do. They're in position to start that and go and do those things. All right, now, last piece for my army is my sworn foe is going to be this Land Raider.
Not my Land Raider. I've only got 2.
I thought about doing the Outriders, but given the fact of where I'm trying to make my attack and where I'm going with my army, if you couldn't tell, you can kind of see which direction I'm going with my army. That Land Raider could cause problems. So being able to reroll hits and wounds into it will be good for that Demon Prince. And if the Demon Prince gets destroyed, I don't have to worry about the second effect because the Sworn Foe, I select one enemy unit, and whenever I fight it, I get reroll hits and wounds into it. However, if this Land Raider is alive at the end of the game and my Demon Prince is still alive, my Demon Prince is immediately destroyed. All right, Lane, talk to us about your deployment. And I thought units went inside of the Land Raider, not...
Well, I got to mark them somehow because each Land Raider has 3 units inside. So I've packed these Land Raiders doubly full of doom today. So each Land Raider has 2 5-mans of Assault Intercessors led by captains and a 3-man of Blade Guard led by captains. We got a mix of 3 Blood Angel captains and 3 regular Space Marine captains. The regular Space Marine captains have to lead the Blade Guard because Blood Angel captains can't. And remember, I'm using Blood Angel captains, not Death Company captains. There's a difference. But yeah, so Land Raiders are just chock full of damage and destruction. We have 1 5-man Assault Intercessor jump pack on the objective here, another one here ready to go towards the middle. And then we've got the Outriders. They're ready to put DJ in Outrider jail for maybe a turn. The Outriders have the ability to advance automatically 6, so they advance a flat 6. And I do have an advance and charge strat. So DJ can advance and charge into me, but I can also advance and charge into him.
All right. And shout out to Battlegrounds and Board Games. Look at these beautiful new objective markers that we have out here with their store logo on them. Thank you again, Ed, and all the guys up at Battlegrounds and Board Games. All right.
I forgot I do have 1 5-man Assault Intercessor with jump pack and deep strike.
Yes. Just for utility, same as what I did with Berserkers. So in this case, Lane, do you want to go first or second?
Yes. Either way is fine. I do have the fight first enhancement on the Outriders, so if you do charge into the middle of the table, I will get to fight first.
Excellent. Not really, but excellent. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of impartial. With Angron, I'd like to go first, but without Angron, I could handle going second because I still got the scout moves to spread out. So it might be easier if you come up a little bit and then I can move into you. And also having the turn 5 going last is nice as well. So, all right, let's let the dice decide. The dice couldn't decide either.
Let's do it again.
All right, well, that's a 5 and a 3, so it looks like the World Eaters will be going first. I have a couple scout moves that I'll just talk about at the beginning of my movement phase, and other than that, it's time to play the game. Very fast and easy World Eater turn 1, since there wasn't very much to do. I could have went to advance and charge, but I think that would be just sacrificing units unnecessarily and not really getting Lane out of position. I can't lock him in his deployment zone like he can to me. So I originally took 2-inch move, plus 2 move, and the feel no pain, just to make sure that I could score whatever secondaries I had. One of my secondaries was extend battle lines. That was nice and easy. And then we had bring it down. That's not so easy. So we made a very tactical choice, and we just chose to move up, tag this right here. So we were able to extend our battle lines and score the 5 points there, and pitch, bring it down for a command point. So we'll go up to 3 command points in the lane's turn, which will be nice to have those resources moving forward into the game. The only thing that we did was we shot with the Rhino because he had a line of sight into the Outriders, and guess what? He didn't do anything. Shocker there, Rhino, man. Let me down, Rhino. You're not picking up entire armies with your shooting. Come on, man. What are you doing?
The bikes are indestructible.
Oh, I know. Bikes are broken. You heard it here first. Nerf them in December. All right. I'm going to kick it over to Lane in his turn 1.
So for my turn 1, I pulled area denial and containment. So containment's pretty easy because I was set up to do that. Area denial, I'm going to have to kill this Rhino in the middle, and it's going to be a challenge just to area deny because I'm going to kill him. Possible heroic intervention. There's berserkers in here that can do it for free in this game because they're battle line and they got the enhancer. They can do it double for free.
So I gained CP because of it, right? Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, so the Land Raider moved forward here and disembarked these guys so they can get on the objective, and they're going to contain. Land Raider can't actually shoot because he's not wholly on this terrain piece. Although he's in it, he's not wholly on it. So by the rules, I can't shoot out of it. But Outriders moved in the middle here. We're going to go for killing this Rhino. I actually oathed a moment the berserkers that are in the building there because just because I feel like they're going to heroically intervene. Because, they do it for free, so they may. So I might have to punch them. But and then over here, this Land Raider moved forward. The Blade Guards got out here as well, so that they're going to do containment. This way, the Land Raider can shoot some shots into this Rhino. Here, try and pick up the Rhino, put a little extra firepower into it. So that's it. I'm going to do a little bit of shooting, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we just kind of rolled everything into one turn here. Shooting didn't do a lot, just chipped a few wounds off the Rhino. That was about it. So then we had to charge in. As you can see, the Rhino is still there to deny me the area, deny me scoring area denial. What had happened was I charged these guys. What are these chosen?
Those are the 8-bound, standard 8-bound.
And the Rhino. I didn't charge far enough to avoid being heroic by these guys. So they're free heroic. They have the enhancement, and it's free heroic on battle lines this game. So they did that, and the master gives them fight first. So they were able to swing first.
Interesting thing that happened, though, was as we looked it up, the enhancement that I put on him does call out the heroic intervention strat and say you can use this again. They made the changes where you can't duplicate stratagems unless they're directly called out. And since the heroic intervention strat with the enhancement is directly called out, if Lane didn't charge the 8-bound, I could have actually heroic with them and then heroic with these guys for free. So either way, the 8-bound would have been getting closer. So that was kind of the only reason Lane did that. So I didn't get the 8-bound closer. And another thing you would have to worry about for that area denial.
Absolutely. So, so we didn't really kill anything, which is a bummer. Outrider Jail did not work today. There was just too much playing against it. DJ was all packed in here tight. Too many heroic interventions and things. And also, he did roll 5 6s on his Feel No Pain for the Rhino.
Yeah, I rolled I rolled a 6 and a 1 for 2 damage weapons.
Yeah, he just spiked the Feel No Pain. So that's why the Rhino is still alive. So I still do have fight first here for DJ's turn, but now we've got guys up in the middle of the table. So now it's going to be a real fight. I just score 5 for containment, though. On to DJ's turn.
Well, we came to fight, so we're going to fight. We got no prisoners, good one for this turn, and cleanse. So for cleanse, I moved Invocatus right here. So he's going to cleanse this objective marker. I'm pretty sure I have it now, even over the Land Raider. And then we moved up the Demon Prince, as well as the 8-bound, the Exalted, and we're going to get in here and try and do some whooping and a walloping. Then over here, Demon Prince moved into position to give that aura of the invuln to help boost all those guys over there. The Executioner squad moved around and just is going to try to cleanse over here. They're keeping it safe because charging in won't really matter too much because this squad does have fight first. So instead, Karn and company disembarked. They're going to shoot their plasma pistols over here and try and see if we can't harass these guys a little bit. And then we're going to charge in over here so we have the size of guys to be able to at least, take some damage and be okay. And then the 8-bound are still hanging out in there. Now for this turn, we did elect for this battle round, we elect sustained hits as well as the +2 move, so we could get these guys all in position instead of the feel no pain. And I'm going to try and get the feel no pain. I'll be able to get the feel no pain after, as long as I kill one unit. I can spend my command point for the round and do a blessings roll and get the feel no pain going to Lane's turn. So I'd rather get hit over here by these guys without the feel no pain, and then we'll pick it up afterwards. So, all right, let's do some shooting and then charge right on in. So we rolled the shooting in the fight phase into 1 because, as you obviously know, world leaders are not really known for their shooting. So after we shot our plasma pistols and all of our guns, we did a grand total of 0 damage.
0 damage.
So otherwise, we did charge. So the world eater, I'm sorry, world leaders, everything's world leaders. So Karn's squad of 10 charged in to the bikes over here. The bikes did have fight first, and they did pick up the last the 8-bound that was injured and another one before the going. After we slaughtered them, we spent 1 command point to use a for the blood gods stratagem to allow us to do a blessing of corn roll. So now we got the feel no pain active. Over here, Lane used Armor of Contempt and stopped my Demon Prince from really being able to wreck. It was huge because there was a lot of 4s in his armor saves, because we did hit really hard. It did put a lot of wounds on it, but he is only AP 2. So that meant that we were only we're down to AP 1 with Armor of Contempt. And had he not, we would have dropped it down to 1 wound and then been able to pick it up with a Twin Link Chain Fist. But 'tis not what happened. Otherwise, we did pick up this squad of Blade Guard with the Exalted 8-bound, and leaving just the captain there. He popped his once per game and wasn't very successful, so we still are sitting pretty on that. So that is going to be the turn. We did get the 2 cleanses right here and right there, and we did max out no prisoners because we destroyed 3 units, the Blade Guard, the Outriders, and the Chaplain. All right, that's it for me. Over to Lane.
So the Blood Angels pull secure no man's land and recover assets for this turn. Just going to go fight. We're going to see how this trade game goes. So everybody got out of this Land Raider. We're going in here. Got to kill some things. We got to watch out for the free heroic intervention. DJ does not have enough CP to interrupt, but the heroic intervention is free, and he's got to fight first over here. And then these solid intercessors jumped out with a captain here. We'll see who they're going to charge. And then these guys hopped out here as well. And they got the captain with the sustained 3 once per game. And they're going to go at the 8-bound because we don't like them. We don't like them at all. They are my oath target, so we will be fishing for those sustained. We'll throw those dice on camera here in a minute. So I'm going to do a little bit of shooting, and then we'll be back. So no shooting into the Berserkers here, because if I shoot them, they Blood Surge move into me. And I have to get close to them because I want to charge them, hit them first. So basically what happened here, Land Raider did some shooting and did pick up, 3 of these guys?
2. There was 4, and now it's down to 2.
Okay, so he did pick
2
up
and a partial.
2.
He's down. He got a 1 down.
Yeah, that's always good to pick up some of these. They bound are real strong, so picking up 2 of them is worth it. Everybody just moved in here. All the heavy bolt pistols shot the Rhino. We scraped, 2 wounds off of him? So,
nope, just 1. He had 2 wounds on him. He's down to 1. Everything took it to 1.
Yeah. Over here, though, the Land Raider did get a Melta shot through and Melta range, and I rolled a 6 on the damage. So we did take a huge chunk off the Demon Prince.
Only 1 feel no pain on that one, so he's at 3.
Yeah, so it'll make it much easier for us to finish him off now. Worth it going in to charge him. So, yeah, it's fight o'clock. There's going to be a lot determined here in the next couple minutes. So we're going to roll some charges and do some fighting. So I made a bunch of charging. What I did here is I charged first with the jump intercessors, and I multi-charged both these Berserks and these Berserks. Because in the mission special rule, we can heroic intervene for free. And I didn't want these guys to get heroic intervened by these. Because they would wreck that squad.
The fight first, yeah.
I want to definitely finish off this Demon Prince in the fight. Because DJ does not have enough CP to interrupt anywhere. He's down to 3 wounds. I should be able to kill him. So really what we're looking at here is just trying to mitigate some of the damage DJ can do through heroic interventions and fight first. So by charging in here and tagging both these units, neither one can heroic intervene. They will fight first. They will wreck my jump intercessors. However, that just allows me to do the other thing. So it's just a trading choice I made, just to essentially shut off the heroic intervenes. And I know I'm going to take it here. It didn't even do any mortals on the impact damage, so bummer there. But other than that, we made charges. Obviously, these guys got in there to their oath target. These guys got into the Demon Prince. These two Assault Intercessor squads with captains got into these Berserks. Tried to make a 10-inch from the Blade Guard into the 8-bound, but failed that. So we're going to, first things first is these guys are going to get to fight these Berserks with the Master of what?
Master of Executions.
He's going to get them, let them fight first, and ruck some Assault Intercessors.
All right, so far, the only thing that's gone on is they picked up the Assault Intercessors as expected. So I spent 1 command point to Blood for the Blood Gods again, and was able to get the fight on death. So that's going to matter in the post-fight of this. But over here, Lane has fought with the Chain Swords and the Power Fist and picked up 2 of the Exalted 8-bound. He is at 1 wound remaining, and obviously the Juggernaut that's leading him is untouched. And it is time to go into the Captain. So I'm going to hit this over to Lane and let him talk about what we're doing now.
Yep, so this is the Captain who has the enhancement, Rage Fueled Warrior. Once per game, I can pop this off, and he goes to sustain 3. So his Power Fist is 5 attacks, plus 1 on the charge because of Blood Angels, plus 3 because once per game, Captains just get 3 extra attacks in combat. So it's 9 attacks. I'm hitting you on 2s, full rerolls because it's my oath target. And I'm going to fish for 6s because every 6 is going to be sustained 3.
There's 2.
2 6s.
And then you're just picking them all up and rolling again.
Yep, it's totally worth it at this. So I got 2 misses, but we did get another sustained 3, so I'm going to add 9 in here.
Oof. And now he is strength what? What's his strength, the characteristic going into those guys?
So we got 16 hits. He's going to be strength 10.
All right, so he'd be wounding on 3s.
Full rerolls because we are Assault Intercessors and you're on an objective. So 3s to wound you. Lots of 1s and 2s. See how we convert. Still a bunch of 1s. Just can't stop. 6, 9. We got 12 AP2, 2 damage punches into you.
Okay, so I got my...
You got some saves and feel no pains.
You said 9, was it?
12.
12?
What do you mean 9? 12.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And it was AP what?
AP2.
AP2. Okay, so it's going to be 4 up invuln, even if it goes over to him. So 4 up invuln. Pull out.
Ooh, my dice were not great. Yours were also not great.
Nope. So
that's a lot.
Yes, this is. So the first one goes on to Mr. Demon, the Exalted. So feel no pain. He's good.
Sure, a couple 6s.
Takes the next one. Okay, so the Exalted is down. So we have this twice for 6s. Stop 1, take 5. Yep, and the Juggernaut's dead too. All right.
All right, good job, Captain. Well, let me tell you guys, this is like a special weight loss program when World Eaters and Blood Angels fight, because a lot happened. Now, DJ did the fight on death thing because he spent the CP to get his extra blessings and rolled a lot of 4-ups. So even though he didn't interrupt, his units didn't even get to fight in the traditional sense because I wiped everything I attacked. So we did finish up this squad, and they fought back and killed everybody, including the captain from that squad. That's the captain from the Blade Guard they got out there. So he's still there. But they wiped that, and the Juggernaut and the 8-bound wiped the entire squad that attacked them when they fought on death. This Demon Priest who killed him, he fought on death. He only picked up 2 guys. And as we can see here, I charged in with 2 captains and 10 Assault Intercessors. And there's still 2 captains, but there's only 3 Assault Intercessors left because they all died. Again, not the DJ fighting back when it's his turn to fight, but on the fight on death because I wiped the squad here. So absolutely brutal exchange here between the 2 armies. So wild interaction there. I don't like it. I don't like the fight on death, especially when he rolls lots of 4-ups. So, but we still scored our Secure No Man's Land because we got this one and that one, and hopefully recover assets on DJ's turn. On to his.
For starters, for the blessings for this turn, we went on Sustained as well as Advance and Charge. Biggest reason was we're bringing these guys up. So they have sticky objectives. So this home field objective is mine and sticky, and since Lane brought in his Deep Strikers, we're okay there. So now we got to do some work and try and take some stuff out of here and start and clean up some models and some units and be world eaters and be charging. So we have established locus as well as, oh, what was the other one I had? Mark for death. Unfortunately, my mark for death targets are hiding back here, big and chunky and untouched. So probably not going to happen. So that's probably going to be a command point there. Otherwise, we spent our CP for the round to auto advance these guys 6. We have advance and charge. So here we go. We're going to bring them in over here and have these guys hopefully do some work. We also have sustain for the round, which doesn't matter too much for them, but it's going to matter for other things like these guys over here who are going to charge and try and take out all of them. And then we'll start working on it over here. It's going to be a fight because like he's at 7 wounds left. He's at 3 wounds. This squad's beat up. These guys are big and chunky. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Plus with strats and stuff like that, it's going to be interesting. These guys moved up. And they're going to take a couple pop shots. We're going to see if we can shoot at these guys a little bit so I can try and hurt them before charging in with these guys. Because, yeah, with the fight first and all that stuff, it could get real bloody and turn around and turn back on me real soon. Or the interrupt could turn back on me real fast. So we're going to do a little bit of shooting, and then we will do some charges. So shooting-wise, we didn't do anything. Not surprised. I mean, we're not a shooting army. We're a combat army. And then in combat, Nelly. Well, we did do a little shooting. So we did pick up a couple of the intercessors over here before charging in, just to do some work. And then we charged in with the Demon Prince. He whooped and walloped and took most of the squad out and left the sergeant with just a couple wounds left. And then the Rhino valiantly got in there and he put both the wounds on, and Lane spent a command point to re-roll the armor save so he didn't lose a captain to a Rhino, which then forced Invocatus to finish it off instead of moving into the Land Raider. But he still tagged the Land Raider so I could reduce the shooting on the Land Raider for next turn. In the middle, I mean, what's there to say here? We charged the captain, the Berserkers, picked up the solo captain, the 2 8-bound charged in and finished off the entire squad, leaving the captain on 2 wounds. And then the Jackals moved in, and with massive amounts of attacks and the fact that we were re-rolling all failed wounds now because of the aura buff from the Exalted, we were able to easily pick him up. Over here, we charged the Land Raider because these guys were doing absolutely nothing. So I figured, let's bring them into the Land Raider and just start harassing things. And again, making this thing reduce its shooting efficiency. Lane zeroed out the strat to Heroic and bring these guys in. We were able to pick one of them up, and boy, howdy, were they saving things. I mean,
DJ rolled a lot of 5 ups.
I rolled a lot of 5 ups versus those AP2 weapons. I mean, it was like 4 wounds. I rolled 5, 5, 6. Then 4 wounds, 5, 5, 6. So we didn't lose that many. We did take a little bit of a damage. The Land Raider got angry, and he kicked the guy in the face, ran his treads over his face. So I know I'm going to lose those guys quickly, but at least it's tying things up for a bit because Lane's really running out of assets, and we still do have quite a bit on the table to keep moving across the field. So, and then these guys back here did successfully establish their locus, and they're there to harass. So we'll see how things go. On to Lane.
We picked up a defense stronghold and bring it down. So not going to score a whole lot. Hopefully I can pop this Rhino here. That would be handy if we could pick him up. He's got 2 wounds left. Defense stronghold, we basically swapped. The jump intercessors here went to engage these berserks. And then these jump intercessors from over here moved over to get on my home field objective. And then I spent 1 CP for these guys to fall back and charge. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to fall back and charge. And the Land Raider is going to shoot at these guys. I don't like that fight first on the Master of Execution, so I oathed them, and we're just going to put a lot of fire into them and hopefully pick most of that squad up. So the Land Raider was able to shoot and pick up the Rhino here, so at least got 2 points for Bring It Down. Over here, this Land Raider, even with Oath of Moment, shooting all its shots and twin-linked Hurricane Bolters in rapid-fire range. We only killed 3 of these guys. DJ made a lot of saves, made a lot of 3-ups. So yeah, haven't. And then they get to Blood Surge, and it just causes a huge problem because the Heroic intervene for free and fight first. So I don't know what I can do with these guys. I might just charge the cultists, the jackals, to try and stay away from them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Or I might just charge back into these. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just charge back into these berserks. Right away.
Well, that didn't work. Let's get these guys.
Yeah, so that's about it. We're going to do a little charging and do a little fighting, and here we go. All right, so these jump intercessors finished off. These berserks here in my deployment zone. I charged back here with these guys because there was just too much going on here. If I charged in, I would probably just get wiped by the Master of Execution, his squad that would heroic intervene for free and fight first. So we just got back here and got these berserks. We're going to get charged next turn, but hey, whatever. That's the thing that we have to deal with. And then over here, the captain charged in, took off 4 wounds from Avocado, but have not killed him. That's about all that happened there, I think. Yep. So I just scored 2 for Bring It Down. Defend Stronghold scored at the end of DJ's turn. And on to that.
So for this turn, we're looking at Assassinate and Area Denial. So for Area Denial, we move these guys up, and we're going to charge. Oop, let's fix this so it's legal. But we're going to keep these guys back here, just so that we're able to Area Denial and get the max points. Now for Assassinate, the only character left alive is over here. We moved up our Master of Execution squad, and it got overwatched, removing all of the guys. So now there's no more fight first, but we still have a big beefy dude who's ready to smack. And we have the 8-bound too. So we are going to charge in there with those guys, and we're going to charge this Land Raider with all of them and see how that works out for us. So that'll be fun. Shooting-wise, we only have one thing to shoot, and that's going to be our Demon Prince back here. He's going to take a pop shot at this. Oh, no, he can't, because... no, he can't. Can he?
He can. It's okay, one to hit.
Yeah, we'll just take a pop shot there, and then we're going to do some charges and see how all that stuff, how all this mess ends up over here. So what I did was I fought over here first, and the 8-bound were able to pick up most of the squad. We spent a command point to go +1 to wound versus character unit, since there was a character there, and picked up the squad, leaving just the dude, spent a command point, and then the lacerator finished off the captain. So then we spent a command point to do a Blessing of Corn roll, and we used that to get lethal hits for these guys. Over here, we had the lethal hits, which did actually help out, so that the Demon Prince was able to finish off the Land Raider, so that one's gone. And then we kicked back over here. The Master of Executions really rocked the boat, doing quite a bit to them. And then they all swung in. We did so many wounds off the sustained and lethal, but that's got a 2-up, so it didn't do very much. So he's got 10 wounds left. And that is it. So we do get Area Denial and Assassinate and kick it over to Lane.
All right, so I pulled Call the Horde and Cleanse. Hey, guys, Call the Horde is actually viable because we do have a big old brick of 20 cultists here. So Jackals, whatever. So we're going to do some work on them. I did spend a CP to advance and charge with these guys. I did roll a 6 on my advance. Nice thing about that strat is that I actually choose it after they advanced, so I can actually choose to do that strat if I want to after I roll the advance roll, and I did roll a 6. So, yeah, that's it. So we're going to try and kill some jackals and maybe some other stuff here, and we'll go on and see what happens. Only really one thing I was trying to do here, and that was kill these jackals. So we just rolled the shooting and the charge into one. DJ did use the free go to ground strat for this mission and gave them 5-up saves from all the AP0 hurricane bolters. So it left, I don't know, 8 or 9 of them left in the squad, and then the jump intercessors went in and wrecked them because they were wounding on 2s with their strength 6 chainsword. So able to finish them off there. So did score 5 for Call the Horde. And that's it. Pitched Cleanse for a CP. So on to DJ's turn.
Last turn has me on Secure No Man's Land, as well as, what was the other one? Defend Stronghold. So I do hold my home field objective, and we're going to hopefully keep it that way. We went Advance and Charge and +2 move, and spent a command point, and ran Avocados 20 inches right over there. So he's going to charge in there. Probably should have done that with the Demon Prince instead, but he's right. He's got extra moves, so he's there. And we're just going to do some charges and see how this all breaks down. All right, so we charged in. We got overwatched with the 8-bound, lost 1, and had the other one down to just 1 wound. And with the combination of the 8-bound with the lacerators as well as Lord Invocatus, we were able to pick up the 5 intercessors, and then the Land Raider took the final wound from the 8-bound and removed him. So that is it for the turn. We will secure No Man's Land because we still control this because of the sticky from the Jackals, as well as we left him back here. And it's going to go over to Lane in his final turn and the score for the game.
So for my final turn, I pulled Overwhelming Force and no prisoners. What we did do is stretch out these jump intercessors to hold both objectives. Just barely made it, but was able to hold both of them. And then Land Raider, Oath a Moment, the good dude man here, the avocado, and shot everything into him. Wasn't able to do it with the shooting. Left him with 2 wounds left. Or
One wound left.
Yeah,
1 wound left.
And finally finished him off in the combat phase. Came down to the very last wound. I did hit him with both Meltas and wound him with both, but DJ made both of those 4-up invulns. So yeah, I came down to the very last wound. So scored no prisoners for 2 and Overwhelming Force for 3, but that was it. Not quite enough to pull out the victory for the Blood Angels here, because our final score today is going to be World Eaters 73, Blood Angels 65. So super close game. Had a great time. Definitely a wild bunch of combat in the middle of the table. The only thing we have left on the table is a Land Raider with 6 wounds, jump intercessors, and a fully healthy Demon Prince.
Roar.
So that's it. Follow us over to the post-game battle report, guys, and we'll talk a little bit of how everything went there. All right, have a good one.